All right, guys. Really thank everybody. Those who are attempting to join the channel. Part 2 for today. I don't know what happened with my last feed, but at least we here now to get everything going. Back at everything. I really appreciate those who follow the channel. Those who've been with me and all this other things. This is Law Nation Network, and we're going to talk about draft. We're going to talk about briefly about the prospects and the opportunities. Who's out there for us to get those type of things. Opportunities are all around us, in the midst of us. Like I said before I was leaving off, we was talking about offensive tackles. We were talking about the offensive linemen. Who's going to place free? What we're going to do with free? What we're going to do with Ron Leary? Shout out to Patrick Taylor. Thank you for joining back with me today. Who's going to replace Ron Leary? Who's going to replace Doug Free? You know, what are we going to do with the interior of this offensive line? You know, who's out there in order for this draft to go in the right directions? Where are we going to go? Those are things that Cowboys Nation, those are things that we really got to look at. Thank you, Logan. Thank you for joining in. So many things. Collins, we got Chaz Green out there. Can Collins stay healthy? Can we depend on Collins? You know, I like the Cooper kid that we got, Jonathan Cooper. What is he going to do for the next level? Is he going to be the guy that we're going to rest our heart, souls on, or with Cowboy Nation, will we move on and just say, hey, we're just not going to sign you back? We're looking more to this draft. Can a Ryan be the answer? You know, he's going to be gone. Can a Antonio Garcia? Can a Roger Johnson? Can a Taylor Morton do anything for us? Shout out to Random too as well. So many things that we have to put in perspective with this particular team. What will be the next step? You know, there's so many things, guys. I'm gonna look at Chaz. You know, Chaz Green. You know, when he came out into the league or what have you with us, we thought that it was an excellent, superb choice for us leaning on him, and then he just didn't stay healthy. And then even with the opportunities, he kind of dropped that too as well. A lot of false starts and a lot of slow starts, but we saw a light, a beacon of hope. And like I always say, when there's hope in the future, there's power in the present. But is he going to be able to be present? Can we depend on him to play in Doug Free's spot? You know, so many things out there. Patrick, you said, hey, did decent while Smith was out. Yeah, you're right. He did a great job on that left end, and we got to think about those things. You know, offensive line plays a major key and role in this young offensive talent that we got in Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. We need these offensive linemen to stay jailed. We need Smith to actually continue doing what he's doing. We like what he's doing. We like what Zach Martins and Frederick is doing out there as well. But we really need collectively consistencies with the Collins of the world and Green. And we need to figure out if Cooper, I think his name Jonathan Cooper, is going to be something that we really can lean our head on, you know, or rest on. You know, in my opinion, with the draft, will we be going back to the story of drafting another offensive player this year? In my opinion, we probably need to. We really probably need to look at that. And I didn't get a chance the first time to look over these special teamers. You know, we have been for years, and I mean years, looking for a guy. We say if Collins get hurt this year, this got to be his last year with us. Yeah, you're right. I think he's one of those players that's gonna play for cheap. But we will see. You know, he got to show up and show out this year. I don't want him to digress into things that does not put him in the right light. You know, for this year. Just like you know, Bill Parcells normally say year 3 is when you actually see the full gamut of or the full array of or the full tenacity or the full outcome of that particular player. I don't know, is this year 3 or maybe year 4 for him? I don't know. If I've kind of forgot. I think it's year 3 for him. But he got to really step up. He really got to step up. Now, moving beyond this, going towards our special teams. We all know that special team has been damaging for us for years. We just didn't have that dynamic guy who teams fear to kick the ball off to. And then when we did, I look back at when Dez Bryant was doing punt returns. I mean, wasn't he dynamic? Yeah, year 3. Thank you for that, Patrick. Yeah, wasn't he dynamic for us? But we always play too cautionary, and we say, well, we don't want to get our top players hurt or injured. This year, we can solve all that by getting one of these guys, right? We know the Lucky Whiteheads of the world, and I've seen Derek McFadden catch a kickoff return. It's not gonna cut it, guys. We need to figure out, can we get one of these guys? If you guys have not got a chance, look up Adoree Jackson highlights. Not a fan of highlights, but you can utilize highlights to figure out what can be the next outcome. What can be the next step of our team. Curtis Samuel comes into a play. He can flex to the outside. He can move into the inside. He can also be a dynamic, shifty running back for you. He can be a better Lucky Whitehead. Even Desmond King can be one of those type of players that you can just say, hey, okay, I can put you out there on the field and don't have to worry about it you ever again. Got those type of speed. Shout out to Patel too as well. Thank you for joining in. You won't see Eddie Jackson or Yabizi. I think that's his list but if we can get him second or third, our defense will have a legit ball hawk. But we got to figure out if Eddie Jackson injury. I don't know. I have to really look up him. I forgot to look that up. Later, I'm supposed to look up his injury report and see whether or not where he stands at. I don't know what is his nature of his injury or how deep or how long he's going to be out, if he's going to even come to the combine. But I really think that Eddie Jackson is one of those Ed Reed type of ball hawkers. Not calling him Ed Reed. There's only one Ed Reed and one Troy Polamalu. I think I said his name right, but those guys, we just forever and a day don't have those type of guys on the Cowboys team, which will be a plus. I like Malik Hooker too as well. Hooker. All right, so let me see. What do you think of D.D. Westbrook? Can he play special team? I mean, Adam can play special team. Adoree, Curtis Samuel. All these guys can play special team. When you're thinking of the mind of a D.D. Westbrook, I think he have off the field issues as of now, and those things are always putting up alarms for me. I mean, I'm all hell bent on D. I'm like, come on, let's get a player who can take the top off of defense, right? D.D. Westbrook can do that. He can be that formidable guy, but I'm not in the game of playing gambling no more. The only gamble that I want Jerry Jones to make is in this free agency. At this time, I really want us to really reach in our pockets and spend some money just for me, just for this 1 year. If we can figure out a way, if we can get one of those free agency players, because I talk and I spoke on things like known commodities, right? When you have a known commodity, meaning that for sure what this product is going to bring to your team, a la like the Deshaun Jacksons of the world, right? Kenneth Britt, I think he's out there, not special team, but a known commodity on the wide receivers end. Whoever out there that we know for sure. Even like I said, Grasson, I know he's not a take the top off of the defense, but in my opinion, this is just my opinion, he would catch the ball when needed. Whole hell of a lot better player than the Bryce Butlers of the world and Terrence Williams. Not throwing shade at him, but we just need somebody that the defense have to respect, and we just don't have that. They respect Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant is one hell of a player when healthy, and when he's focused. And we saw with our eyes what number 11 can do for us. We saw that Cole Beasley can do the worlds for us. That's why I've been on the sounding off with the loudest voice that I can sound off on OJ Howard. Somebody's dynamic in this offense. Somebody that can be dynamic. Even David from Florida can do that. All right, Niles Lumpkins. The key positions that they need to focus on is cornerback. Well, let me see what you're saying. The key position that we need to focus on is cornerbacks, defensive end, and tight end. Speaking of cornerbacks, I can jump back to cornerbacks. I mentioned earlier, there's a 90% chance that one of these guys can fall to us. 90 to 95, right? Sidney Jones, a Lattimore, a Humphreys, a Tabar, even the Quincy guy that sits the opposite side of him, a Tre'Davious White, more, a Buda Baker. You got so many out there that can just fall to our laps. Are you willing to pull the trigger? Are you willing to say, hey, this person can make this type of drastic change to our defense, that I'll pull the trigger on these commodities? Remember, I'm saying that these are not known commodities. We just don't know. A known commodity would be like what Super Tigers 2607 stated. Terrell Pryor, wide receiver, number 2, second wide receiver. Well, everybody with 2 eyes or 4 eyes or any eyes can see. 1 eye, Fetty Wap eye, can see that a Terrell Pryor would be better in this offense than a Terrence Williams. He will be better for us than a Bryce Butler. He will be better for us than anybody that we probably select in this draft, believe it or not to throw shade at a Corey. Because they are just not known commodities, and we can just go back and forth on this, but a known commodity is a known commodity, and it gets to that point that we got a Corey Davis's of the world, we got Mike Williams, John Ross, we got Cooper Kupp, a Jay Jones, and all those guys. A Juju got hands, soft hands, big pillow hands. But Juju Smith, we just never know how this is going to translate to the NFL level. I want known commodities at this point, and I'm selfish in a degree because we have been passing up a lot of good players because of cap reasons and stuff like that, like the Eric Berrys of the world, like Logan Johnson's mentioned. Eric Berry opposed to a Berry church. Close your eyes and think. Eric Berry with that silver and blue on, Can you imagine Eric Berry in this particular defense? A ball hawk. You match him up with Baron Jones. You put, you go into the draft and you get you one of those cornerbacks we were mentioning. Like I said, a 90% chance of getting one of those guys. You get one of those guys out there. You still have to shore up your defensive line. You see, we can do that on one end of the spectrum, but we still got to figure out defense, right? You get a Calais Campbell. You figure out a way that you can get some of these free agencies this year, come hell or hot water, and get somebody on that defense. I'm tired of seeing teams marching down the field and rubbing it in our face when we have technically top 3, top 5 offense in the league, right? Next year, hands down, we should be top 3 or top 5 offense in this league. You got Dez Bryant to the outside. You got one of the best dynamic young running backs in the league. You got the world's greatest offensive line in the world, right? You got a up and coming quarterback. You got a veteran tight end who seems to be healthy and can catch the ball when in need, right? Now, all we've been needing for the last 3-4 years is a dynamic pass rush. We've been yelling pass rush. Even when DeMarcus Ware was on the team, we've been yelling this defense need to get fixed with pass rush. And time in and time out, we just have not had those pass rush. Now, the chicken, what come first, the chicken or the egg and all that good stuff? Do you need a great secondary? Or do you need to fix up the defensive line? Those are things that we will have to answer to ourselves, right? We got to look in the mirror, open up our eyes, and peel back everything and look deep down in our souls and say, hey, we need to get this defense together, guys. That's what we really needs to do. But at the same token, on the other side of the field, we need known commodities on the offense, and we need some type of another explosive player on the offense. I do not want to see I do not want to see Lucky Whitehead run another reverse sweep or jet sweep and fumble the ball. I don't want to see this methodically us trying to pick our way down the field, and the only chance of hope that we have is a Zeke the Freak, and don't have no wide receiver to take top off the defense. Defense able to cheat down into the box, stop the run and stuff like that. We need that player that can just say, hey, I'm gonna take this one to the house. A known commodity. Or we need somebody that when we pass the ball to them, that they catches the ball with their hands, not to their body, not against their body, not doing crazy plays and stuff like that. We need those type of players. Caden Humbert, hope I said your name right. We need JJ Watt, right? JJ Watt got so much money on the line, it's just impossible for us to get him. JJ Watt is a lofty dream, a goal of a mind of us thinking. Possibilities, those are things that are not going to happen. Logan Johnson. We might be able to trade Romo and some first and second round picks for Myles Garrett. I like Myles Garrett. I'm in love with Myles Garrett. I like what he does to the team. I like what he's able to play down there in Arlington, play down there in Texas A&M. I like this guy. I like his traits. I like his girth, his width, his length, his tenacity, what he brings to the team. I like to be a millionaire too as well, right? It's just not going to happen. That's a horse of a different color, right? Well, that's a story of another day. But what we can do, I like Solomon Thomas. I like a Charles Harris, if we decided to go with that 28 pick and stay humbled and stay in that space, then I like those guys, It just, sometimes we have these lofty dreams, we have these lofty goals of getting those type of guys, but technically it's just not going to happen. I want them things to happen for us, but we probably have to not go with the sexy picks on the 28 pick. Probably have to go with a Malik McDowell, a Caleb Brantley, Jonathan Allen going to be long gone before that time frame. Or we probably have to trade out of the first round and get multiple picks in the second and third to shore up our defense. And if we can go and grab some offensive players, a dynamic offensive player through free agency, that would be the way, right? Bernie, what's up, man? I like to get Cordell Patterson on this team. Dallas had him rated very high in the draft. There you go. Now you're talking my language. You're talking my love language, not Bernie. If we can figure out a way to get a Cordell, I mean, he's light years beyond or above a Lucky Whitehead, right? Because he can actually at least run a 9 route or or we can put him down in the skinny post and we can do a drag route here and there, and he got size, he got width and length and fast, and got known skills where other teams have to respect him, And I'm not just talking about Birdman put some respect on my name, right? I'm talking about he got tape, film, stuff that they're gonna have to put respect in perspective point of view of what Cordell Patterson can bring to this team, right? That would be something nice. Patrick Taylor said Juju Smith with the 28th pick. I think tables will be flipped over and a lot of people will be upset about that, believe it or not. But I really think that Juju Smith is grand. But tape, film studies, and everything else showing route runners and stuff like that show that John Ross the third, or whatever, I think John Ross is just a hair above him. But we will see. We will see how they transpire out with the actual combine numbers and stuff like that. That's what we waiting on, guys. That's what we really waiting on, is combine. And earlier I talked about what? Christian McCaffrey. We can kill two birds with one stone, right? Christian McCaffrey can pretty much take away Lance Dunbar or Lucky Whitehead. And he can be that spell back that we probably really would need, And my vision, my point of view of this all together collectively is with the mindset of just being so dynamic on the offense that it bends and will your defense to say, hey, I got to play better. And that can happen, guys. That can really, really happen as long as we stay focused. There's so many things out there, right? But as we look at, let me see some more things that I might have left out in the chat log. Neil, you need to go out to JJP for a free agency. I don't have any more reservations on JPP. I meant to say. I think Jason Pierre-Paul is a dynamic player, even with 1.5 hands. He probably brings in sacks, and that's what we really need. We have yet to have. I said this the other day. Our leading career sack leader on our team is Orlando Scandrick. Believe it or not, Orlando Scandrick got more sacks than any other player on our team, outside of, I think, Thornton is next, and then down the line somebody like that. Somebody else got other sacks, but our sack leader is Orlando Scandrick, and it's not cool. You got to be more formidable than that. Let me see. Luke 16:50:10. We need defensive backs that can catch. I'm excited about Anthony Brown. AB, is that what they call him? He deserved that nickname, right? That what I like so much about Anthony Brown, and I was planning on doing like a video clippings of him. I was trying to look up all the highlights films I can find of him, and what I'm gonna do is do an all 22 of Anthony Brown. I'm gonna figure out a way to submit that out to everybody, so you guys can see this technique. The kid is beyond his time. His measurables and all that stuff just didn't jump out originally at first at me. But when I got a chance to look at his film and compare his tape to Jalen Ramsey tape, now Jalen Ramsey got a better, stronger upside, of course, but this Anthony Brown is savvy. He's driven, and shout out to Will McClay for finding this guy. From Purdue, just hands on the ball. Could have had. I was looking at tape. He kind of dropped 2 or 3 interceptions, so he could have easily walked away with four picks this year. But just the way this guy, he was managed to get 1 interception at least, and is either equal to or more impressive than what I saw to Brandon Carr in the last 5 years. So these things, man, you just gotta be able to appreciate Anthony Brown's. All right, so it's Super Tiger 2607. The Giants are planning on keeping JPP. They better, because they let this guy go. It's gonna make us all better in our division. This guy, he helps out. Believe it or not, they say Olivier Vernon was this and Olivier Vernon was that, right? But JPP still demands 2 double teams, demands extra night of studying, demands he plays on that right side, and he coming. It's difficult playing on the non-blind side, right? Sometimes, and he's right in your face, and he's coming, and this guy still gets to the ball, with 1.5 hand, Scandrick is really a good player, Caden. I think that's your name, Humbert. But if we trade, it's from my boy Cook. If we trade our number 1 to the Browns for their number 1, and they give up a second next year and a third next year for Romo, I'd do it in a heartbeat. It's cold up there in Cleveland. Romo cannot play in the cold like that, although he's from Wisconsin. I don't know how Cleveland Brown offensive line look, and I don't know how it's gonna play out with their with them going out picking a who's that guy RG3 out there. They still got believe that Kessler or whatever that guy is, who Romo gonna throw to, Wait a minute, they do got Corey from last year, but I don't know. I don't think that they'll do that. Hold on for me, guys. Give me a few seconds. Yeah, so there's just so many things out there when it comes to that, quarterbacks and who we needs to get out there. Shout out to Huggy as well. Quarterbacks play. We still gonna have to this year, believe it or not, go into the draft and maybe snatch up a quarterback in the late rounds. None of these quarterbacks will technically drop that far, but if they do, we're gonna grab them as fast as we can close our eyes. That's just the bottom line. But shout out to the King of Memphis. Hey guys, thank you all for joining in. Thank you guys for being part of the show and this sort of thing. Bernie, let me see. Only free agent I would like them to chase out there is Eric Berry. His story would instantly mesh with the locker room and stuff like that. Put like this. Like I say, Sports Gamer 101. You know who I'm talking about. Yes. That's Stephen Gilmore. My God. Good, rangy. Probably be a little bit cheaper than Eric Berry. And I would like his skill set on the Dallas Cowboys. If you guys have not watched my all turnovers montage video that I recorded a few days back, please go out there and watch it. You will see this kid, Stephen Gilmore, jumping all over the screen. You will see him just being everywhere around the ball. I can just dream about Eric Berry and dream about Stephen Gilmore. There's just so many things out there. What is your college team? I'm just like any team from the SEC, especially like Mississippi State and LSU, Ole Miss. I like those teams. I grew up in the South. I got a few brothers who went to Mississippi State, and I actually was roommates and college mates with Dak Prescott, believe it or not. So that's how close I am to Mississippi State. Hey guys, let me see what I do this, because I have to probably wrap this up soon. Let go, Lee. Get out of here. We would never let go of Lee. That's blasphemous almost. Gilmore is going to ask for a Janoris Jenkins type of deal. that would put high out Dallas comfort zone as money wise. What was Janoris Jenkins' contract? We can't play too safe, guys. We're gonna have to figure out a way to reach in that pocket. Jerry, this is your conscience speaking. Reach into your pocket this year. Well, we need to figure out a way to reach into our pocket. Oh yeah, Alabama is cool too as well. SEC, the best conference in the world. Are you right, Patel? All right, so Jerry, reach into that pocket. Y'all tell Jerry, hashtag we can reach into that pocket. See, man, you guys making me getting right. You know, a Tremaine Johnson. That's something, man. I could just dream about these players, Tremaine Johnsons, the Eric Berry, the Gilmore kid, the man, the JPP, anybody that can just rush and hit the quarterback too as well. Because Calais Campbell's of the world. We got to reach. I don't want us to go back and try to sign our own players. We've been getting the same results, you know. And stupidity and being ignorant of the fact it's just gonna keep doing the same. We call it insanity, right? Doing the same thing, expecting different results. And the only person that I like on our line that's worth going out there re-signing is Jack Crawford. And then one can argue and say, well, Jack is getting freed up because of Tyrone. Tyrone, we've been paying this man. He's due $10 million. $10 million. Huh. We can cut Tyrone right now and save 7. I'm down with cutting Tyrone right now. Have $7 extra million. Figure out a way we can sign one of those outlandish contracts on a Gilmore or a Berry, or figure out a way to get JPP. What you guys think about that? Stephen Jones was 100 about what he said in free agency. Good players, they get paid like great players. Patel, you're right. You know what? You know, it kind of bit him on his same tail because Stephen Jones made that statement, but he signed Tyrone Crawford as if he's a good player, great player money, you know. So he was speaking out both sides of his mouth or speaking out the side of his neck. It was a lot of tongue in cheek. But I like Stephen Jones. At least he's transparent in a way of saying, okay. Oh, Bernie. Stephen Jones said perfectly. JPP had 7 to 8 sacks and won crazy money. Who's our sack leader this year? Who was our sack leader this year? I think it was 6 or 7 sacks, right? And I guarantee you, JPP played on it 12 games. I'm not trying to say, okay, we need to go out and sell the ship on JPP. May not be a good player for us, but I just don't want to play. I just don't want JPP to be in the NFC East. I can tell you that. Trade Cole Beasley for Jones. Where you coming up from this stuff, man? Cole Beasley is pretty much practically dirt cheap for our team, and $3 to $4 million we paying for him and his level of production. I think that he's just going to stay around, be around to stay, you know. Renovate, rejuvenate, Church or re-sign Church. Let Church find the Church's money, you know. You're going to go out and you're going to get a reality check and see what he's really worth. Then you're going to come back to us. But since we were 13-3, Barry Church and JJ Wilcox may find another team. You got these smaller teams, the smaller markets who who are going to say, well, hey, these guys were 13-3. Let's try to poach from this particular roster, and they've been known to do that, you know. But let me ask you this, honest opinion: Barry Church or J.J. Wilcox? Who you rather have? Malik Collins had 6 sacks. That was a hell of a good from the interior. That ain't bad. 6 sacks his rookie year. I need to verify. I trust you, but I need to verify that. I need to go on the website and check and see how many sacks Collins had. But I'm quite sure he did have about 6 sacks. Everybody rather have Church. You rather take us to Church instead of Wilcox, right? Wilcox or Jeff Heath? He had like 4. Okay. Collins had 5. I didn't think he had 6 sacks though. Coming from the interior line, he would have been in the Pro Bowl. David Irving, yeah. David Irving need to play on. They need to keep David Irving to the outside. Believe it or not, they just need to keep him there. They don't need to rotate him, put him in the defensive tackle, put him in the defensive interior. They need to be able to keep David Irving to the outside. Yeah, but hold on for a second. I'm back, guys. Technical difficulties, right? All right, so we're gonna have to iron this out one way or another. All right, so yeah, face cam is down right now. Wilcox to improve drastically this year. Let Church walk. I forgot about Frazier. Very similar in players. Yeah, you're right. Trade everything for Myles Garrett from Pyram, or is it Fyram? Will McClay definitely don't need that. I'd rather have Will McClay gambling with the 4 or 5 picks that he can get with a premier player than just putting all your eggs in one basket for one. We saw how that happened with Joey Galloway trade, right? 2 first rounds and a conditional 3rd or something like that for Joey Galloway, right? 2000, we still recovering from that. We saw when we gave up the house for Roy Williams, the receiver. It didn't work out well for us. So I don't think that we should sell the farm for Myles Garrett. I mean, you know, like I say, Solomon Thomas would just be perfectly fine. Or that other player that plays on the opposite end of Myles Garrett will be perfectly fine. What we must do and what we needs to do is to get a defensive player in the draft. I can tell you that, you know. But with Dallas Cowboys win Atlanta, I think that's Atlanta, I guess that's what you're saying. I think Cowboys can beat the Atlanta. They would beat them last year, you know. I think Atlanta problem would be stopping the run. Their players are very, very small. and we would be able to just get up on them. Now, of course, our defense would have problems matching up with Julio, but give or take, I think that Matt Ryan would have gave the ball away to us several times, and we'd have won that game. But we will all see next year, right? Super Tiger 2607, Deshaun Hall, I think was his name. I must have left out on some stuff. DeMarcus Walker, yeah, Deshaun Hall is the guy that play on the opposite side of Myles Garrett, and I think that Deshaun Hall, the chance of a great pick than Myles Garrett would be. Not saying he's comparable to Myles Garrett, but he'll be a whole lot less. We wouldn't feel the burdens of picking a Deshaun Hall versus a Myles Garrett, trading the form away, or DeMarcus Walker had 16 sacks. I don't know. He ain't in the first round projection. And you guys get a chance to Google this guy named DeMarcus Walker. YouTube this guy. He's short, stoddy, low center gravity to the earth, very quick, strong, got a lot of strength in those little arms of his. But he can get after the quarterback. I'm talking about he can get out after the quarterback, and he'll be able to get the game going in the right direction for us, and I think that'll be a good pick. Him, Charles Harris, yeah, a Lawson, Tacos. My guy Bernie, I still get a little queasy when I remember the Galloway trade. we could have had Sean Alexander with one of those picks. You are 1000% correct, man. We should get Tremaine Johnson from the Rams. I mean, that's a lottery. That's a luxury. That's something that's wishful thinking. That guy, he kind of reminded me of Marcus Peterson for the Peterson. I think for the Chiefs, he's very tall, rangy, strength. He got great vision, plays man, can play press, can play outside and inside technique. Very often, rarely I meant to say, get burnt on long routes because his technique pushes the receiver out of bounds before the ball arrives to him. He can do all those things. Tremaine Johnson for the Rams. I think he wear number 22. Kind of reminds me of the Richard Sherman without dreads, basically. I hope we do draft Walker, Super Tiger. Let me see what we have. I made it. Mason, thank you, man, for making it into part 2. Something happened to my cam, so I'm just doing it without the visual of my face and all that good stuff. So you guys can still hear me, though, so that's good. All right, so what about Tim Williams? If he falls down to us, he has a lot of baggage, though. He has tremendous lot of baggage. You know what I mean? I really don't think that Tim Williams, we're gonna try to gamble with that. It's one of those things that whereas we've been burned by Randy Gregory. One can just say, hey, it's because of his inability to stop smoking the weed and all this stuff. But Tim Williams, my goodness, maybe we can talk to coach down there in Alabama and say, hey, what's really going on? Because without a shot of a doubt, the New England Patriots will pick up Tim Williams and he will never smoke another joint. He will just go off the radars. And even if he do manage to slip, or even if he do manage to quote unquote, this is just me slightly joking, if he managed to kill someone, and hide it later and then they released him or what have you, he would not catch the slack in the hatred and the vicious victim of the media sensation that the Cowboys would get, right? Just me just saying that, make you guys think we just need to just move far away from the Joe Mixons of the world and the Tim Williams and anybody who have those questionable background issues and baggage. Like I said, I was the biggest cheerleader for D.D. Westbrook, but after I found out that this kid had all those little ancillary things going on in the background, I politely shut my mouth and said, okay, maybe he'll be a good move for the Seattle Seahawks, or a great pickup for the New England Patriots, because they don't get scrutinized of what we would get if we pick up a guy with questionable, background issues. Kind of like Tyreek Hill, Can you guys close your eyes and imagine Tyreek Hill being on the Cowboys this year or last year? Oh my goodness. And we would have had Zeke the Freak, and we would have had Dez Bryant, and we would have had Dak Prescott, and we would have had, the media would have figured out a way to say, okay, Tyreek Hill is a woman beater. He beat up his pregnant wife and left her outside, and he was arrested for this and that. But that's never been the talk track for Tyreek Hill this offseason, right? Or previous season. They still doing an investigation on a non-charge that Ezekiel Elliott had, right? Not just trying to bring up facts, but Tyreek Hill, he did something more nefarious than anything that you can even imagine. Beat up his pregnant girlfriend. Didn't get suspended not one game. Not even mentioned on any of the major networks or any of the. You have to damn near Google this information up and pull it up yourself when you read Tyreek Hill's information. But that's a horse of a different color, right? It's a story of another day. Patel said Charles Harris has a good game against our opponents, and that's the only knock on him. But Tim Williams can get the S done, right? He will be the steal at 28. You're right, Patel. He will be a one hell of a steal. But, we just got to figure out the media sensation, the ESPNs of the world, Fox News, and their whorish attentions of getting some type of clickbait to talk about those type of players that we sign. Scandrick is a slot corner. He doesn't do what Carr and Claiborne did. Yeah, Scandrick is our slot corner. Scandrick needs to figure out a way to get the ball in his hands when the ball hits him in the chest, or he needs to figure out a way to not whiff on tackles. But I like Scandrick though. We need to re-sign Carr. Only if Carr comes even cheaper than what he's asking for, then I would say, Mason, yeah, let's get Carr back out there and let's see that used car one more time, right? Got high mileage, but the car is good to go. It does not break down on us, right? As long as we don't overpay them. You're right, Kev. All right, Patel, we need to get players used to winning environment. Some SEC players, you're right. What else we have? Cornerback. It's from Bernie again. We need to find a cornerback. Scandrick and Brown aren't great at being the first round. If Talib is released, I like to see him. He should demand the type of deal that a younger free agents will. I mean, if Mason says interesting, Talib is not the right kind of guy, Garrett would say, right? But my God, a Talib. We talked about Talib, right? No, we talked about Tremaine Johnson, right? And you saw how giddy and gully I was about Tremaine Johnson. You can only imagine what I feel about Talib. Talib, man. Oh, Talib. You can only dream about having those type of players, those type of guys who's willing to get into the face of their opponents, who willing to just say, hey, I'm going to hit this guy unsportsmanlike conduct just to let him know that the Dallas Cowboys is for real this play. You talk about this right here. It is now time for us to set aside the league, the NFL calling the Dallas Cowboys defense weak. We had a guy that can put his money where his mouth at, right? Or put his play on his field, his action, his tenacity out there on the field, and look down his opponent's face without fear and say, "You're gonna be mine tonight. I'm gonna own you tonight." That's who Talib. That's who Talib is. He's that guy that's gonna snatch the chain off you. He's gonna call you weak. He's gonna call you less than a man out there on the field. He's gonna get up under your skin. And believe it or not, you need those type of guys who can do that against number 13 against the Giants, Odella. You're gonna need somebody to get in Odella face, you know. You're gonna need somebody that can just talk to these the Eagles receivers don't fear me. I don't know who they're gonna go out there and get. But you're going to need that type of guy, like a Talib type of guy. But his attitude needs to be adjusted. And hopefully our team, with winning around the environment, can mold and shift him into being the right kind of guy, right? You know exactly what you're getting with Carr. Yeah, Mason. The Carr sensation is the problem that we've been having in the last 5 or 6 years with the Cowboys collectively. We know what we're gonna get from these type of guys. Like when we did that deal with Tyrone Crawford, we should have known what we're gonna get with that guy, right? I mean, we weren't gonna get anything else extra, right? We know what we're gonna get with Mo Claiborne. We know we're going to get with Carr. We know we're going to get with J.J. Wilcox. We know we're going to get with Barry Church. The only other thing that we just need to know what we're going to get is like we need to get swagger from someone. Somebody who can add that extra element of intimidation to our team. Somebody who can rub it into your nose when you're on that ground. I mean, our General Lee, Sean Lee, and Jalen Smith, I have high hopes and expectation for them, but we still have the whole reservation. Let's take a look at this linebacker I got on this field right here, Hassan Reddick, a Rubian Foster, or Zach Cunningham. What we gonna get from those guys, you know? Or an Alex, you know? What can we get from the guy? That's the pros and cons. Mason Carr is what he is. You right, Bernie. All right, so my boy, is that Refi Aho? What do you think about us maybe trying to get cruising with the salsa, with the dance move, with the swag and all this good stuff, right? I mean, Cruz is a slot receiver. We have the sauce. Hey Mason, do you think that Cruz can play to the outside? Is Cruz a better Butler? Can Cruz be a better Terrence Williams? I'm pondering on that because T. Will is still fast. So he's deceptive fast, but whenever he catches the ball, it looks like he's gonna fall. And then we understand that aspect of his game. He's not gonna catch in traffic, but he does catch when it's like 4th and 26 or 4th and 13 or something like that, and the ball is towards the sideline. Terrence Williams will find a way to catch those type of balls, but when it's like 2nd and 3rd, or 2nd and 4th, or 3rd and 12, or 3rd and 14 or something like that, he just so happens to just don't come up with the ball. I would only entertain Cruz if he can become dirt cheap, become with a veteran minimum, and if we can flex him to the outside. That's the only way I can see Cruz being on this team. I don't think he's fast enough to warrant any safeties and free safeties to play back, but at least he have some type of veteran insight. Not veteran leadership, but veteran insight. Josh Eiford. I would like to see Cowboys draft Desmond King in the second round, he would be a steal. I digressed on his. I looked at Desmond King tape. He's fast and he does a lot of things. And I think that he's going to be one of those gadget type of guys out there in the backfield. And I just don't really think that his skill set is going to translate like we think it should. Now, that's just my opinion, you know, and not saying that I'm wrong or right. Only way I would get Desmond King, and you're right, is with the second round, not the first. So I can live with that. We go grab a Solomon Thomas or OJ or somebody of that nature with the first pick, and then with the second round, we snatch Desmond King. I can see us living with that. Bernie, man, I hope the Eagles don't go after Alshon Jeffrey. We can't match up well with him. You're right. Alshon Jeffrey is a world class second receiver. I don't put him in the likes of a first receiver. I wouldn't play him at an X, but he's one of those guys that I think that he just tall, rangy, deceptive speed and catch the ball with his hands, and I think that Carson Wentz will be able to utilize him because of those types of passes. They can have the underneath passes with the other kid, that Nelson guy that they have, and some other guy that they have out there on their offense, and then just have him to run a 9 or a dig or a go, a slant, slants and stuff like that will be in the wheelhouse of Jefferson. So yeah, you're right, Bernie. I do not want to see this guy. Plus, we have Max said, why shouldn't we sign a car and restructure Tyrone Crawford contract? Restructure Tyrone Crawford contract. Oh man, that's been Cowboys' Achilles heels for a long time. It's the restructuring or altering of the contract. They spread those contracts out, and then we be in this type of, when we see a player that we really want, we end up having a player that's on our team that we done restructured for so many times that is similar to biting on the bullet, too late in the, it's just a whole slugfest of that. So I just go ahead and cut them. See what it's hard for me to just talk positive about Tyrone Crawford right now. I'm sorry, guys. What do you think about Anthony Hitchens, man? Ever since rookie year, he has been on a low, kind of like Williams. I think Hitchens, I don't know. I have to really think about and study up on Hitchens. I really think that Hitchens did set back this year. And I think, what's that number 51 kid and the other kid that had the incident with the eye issue kind of stepped up, showed up on a lot on tape, and Hitchens just disappeared. Hitchens is number 59, right? I'm trying to think of the other kid number. I think his name Williams, Damian Williams or Wilson. Y'all help me out on that. But I think that those guys really jumped out on tape, and I really like what they can bring to the team. So you match that up with Jalen Smith, and then we can really see some things happening. Hitchens plays better. This is probably, Hitchens was average, Max. You're right. Kyle Wilber, 51. What's the other kid name? He had the incident with the paintball. He had a paintball issue. Damian Wilson. He did jump out on tape. Did he jump out on tape with you guys? Did y'all see Damian Wilson made some plays? Must be. Did you guys see that? He wears number 57, right? Do we have a guy that wears number 56? Well, I think it was number 57. Damian Wilson jumped out on tape with me when I was just doing a lot of film reviews and stuff like that. He jumped out. What I think was Hitchens' problem is, and this is just me speaking, Mark wear number 56. Mark jumped out too. There, Mark was everywhere on one game that I had to just rewatch and see what's going on. But let me tell you what's going on with Hitchen. Hear me out. I think Hitchen is a better weak side linebacker, right? Was that what Lee playing right now? Lee is playing Hitchen's role. Yeah, 56 is Durant. Yeah, Durant jumped out, and I'm so sorry, guys. Excuse me, but Damian Wilson jumped out. Justin Durant jumped out, and Wilbur. Although Wilbur was used in the selective role, he can play flex out to the defensive end too as well. But Kyle Wilbur jumped out, and Hitchen just disappeared. I really think that Hitchen plays a better role in Sean Lee's position, according to his skill set, opposed to Sean Lee playing in that position. You know, Sean Lee, you can play Sean Lee anywhere on that defensive linebacking side because of his knowledge of the game. But it just that Hitchens, although he can play multiple roles, I think Hitchens' strongest suit is where Lee is playing at, and him trying to adjust to it, it's just not working out well with him. So, if I'm not mistaken, and you guys help me out with this because I have not did my homework on my linebackers for our team. Is if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Smith is going to play in Durant's position. Is that correct? Is he going to play that position that Durant plays in? Sean Lee plays inside better than the weak side too. Jalen on one side covering the edge, Wilson, Sean Lee on the other. Okay. What about everybody's favorite linebacker, Orlando McClain? Orlando is gone. He can't stay off of that lean. Football is an afterthought for him. Hitchen is playing out of place, and he'll be. Yeah, see, that's what I think. Yeah, Bernie, you hit the nail on the head. That's what I was trying to get out. I was trying to put my mind together. Hitchen is playing out of place, and that's why he disappears at times. But Hitchen is one of those good guys. He's those Jason Garrett's right kind of guys, right? So he's not whining, complaining about it, but he is playing out of space. I've seen him get blown up a lot of times from what I saw, and I was like, man, he whipped on a lot of tackles this year, and he just not. It's not that type of guy that you really just customarily seeing. And the reason why he jumped out his rookie year is, if I'm a betting man, if I can go back to thinking, his rookie year, Lee wasn't there, right? And that's what we should re-sign Bryce Butler at dirt cheap only. You know, Jalen will play the middle linebacker. Okay, he's gonna be in the middle of the field. And sometimes I guess they'll flex him out to the outside in need of blitzing and stuff like that, right, Max? But his skill set shows that, yeah, he'll be one hell of a middle linebacker. It's a little bigger, I guess, a little faster. That's a faster. That's how they work. A little faster than Sean Lee. All right, Cardell Patterson would be a good pick. Could be a solid 3 or 4 wide receiver. A major improvement for punt and kickoff return. You right. So we don't need any Will or Mike linebackers. We need a Sam to hold up versus the run. Wilbur, Gaskar can improve on. Yeah. Give Birdie. I would say give Wilbur a little bit more playing time. I think that Wilbur is his 5th or 6th year. I think Wilbur just needed to just play less a little bit more. In my opinion, he got that type of skill set. That's all I can say. Sean Lee is better on the outside. It hurts too much in the middle. Cause Sean Lee, I am working on Sean Lee tape, and hopefully I can have that tape completed this week. And you will see the reason why Sean Lee cannot play that middle of the field is because this kid is everywhere. And guess what? The tape It's going to be on an all 22 film. So you will actually see how much Sean Lee runs. I'm talking about with a capital R, with a capital U, with a capital N to the ball. He runs with an S2, runs to the ball. That Sean Lee is a beast. Very underrated. Very, very underrated. Very good player. 7 to 8 years in the league, man. I'm talking about his tape of him just running explosive to the ball. I mean, Sean Lee is just everywhere. I was sitting there like, man, I can't wait to submit this tape out to you guys so you guys can all see. It's going to be all 22 film. It's going to be from preseason all the way to the divisional playoff, if they allow me to show the divisional playoff game. But you're going to see Sean Lee just going at it. All right, I got to wrap this up, guys, but let me answer the last few questions. Did you see the new video of Jalen Smith cutting and sprinting? I'm getting excited. Yeah, Mason, I saw the last few videos of Jalen Smith just being everywhere out there, cutting, running, splitting, jumping. Now I just want to see him get hit. I want to see somebody hitting him, see if he can take that. This off season is going to be really good for us to watch him just running around, flying to the ball. Why do you wish William would get open more often? Our number 2 wide receiver for the past decade has always been a run blocker. They ever get more than 60 receptions, and William is a hell of a blocker. William is a great blocker. My only thing is Patel. To be honest with you, it's not a hatred. It's more like a disappointment. It's expectations, and when you have expectations of someone, you kind of put them in a higher category. It's kind of like that you can get an A out of this class. This class is talking about school, right? You can get an A plus, but you just don't study, and that's what I have my only reservation with Williams. I know that he can be a better player. I know that he can run routes better. I know that he can catch the ball if he decided to with his hands, but he just not just being right there. But neither here nor there. That's been my time, guys. I thank you guys for yours. I really thank you guys for joining in to the chat room and this sort of thing. I actually have to run, but look for me to do this same chat talk tomorrow, maybe 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we can get everything going. Please comment down below once the video has been posted so I can reach out to you guys that way too as well. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Go out and watch the Dallas Cowboys all 2016 defense video that I made. You can take a look at every defensive player that we had out there on the field last year or this year, whatever you want to look at it, and then let me know, comment down below. And Magic Toaster, shout out to you too as well. Shout out to everybody who was joining into the chat room today. That's in the chat box. I will be posting more videos to come, and it's just one of those things. Nice seeing you. 1 p.m. Yes, it will be 1 p.m. They'll be there or be swear. That's my time. I thank you guys for yours, and remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. May God bless until I see you guys again. How about them Cowboys? I'm out.